the URL. Let me see. Let me share in the chat just so everyone has the information. Okay, so I included the link to the website, and we're going to go over some vocabulary here. So I made this list based off of, and there's kind of a range of English here, and so I just had a range of vocabulary that's most of you should know. Maybe there's some challenging words. Maybe you know the meaning, but maybe the pronunciation is difficult, or you know what it is in your mind, but when you have to explain it in English, it's difficult. So we're going to go over these. So I made 3 columns of 17 words. So that's quite a lot. So we're not going to go one by one. That's kind of boring. So what I'd like you to do, we'll just look at the first little column and just think to yourselves, or how many items do you understand when reading? So if you just read these, how many of these words, or what percentage do you know? 90% of these words, or 100%, 60%? So I'll give you a time. I don't know if you can't see all the words on the screen. It's one line too too much, but you can look on your own computer with the link. So I'll give you 1 minute just to look through all the words. Okay, that's about a minute. Yeah, so I'm interested, how many words, or what percentage of these words can you understand by reading? Would anyone like to volunteer, or shall I pick someone?
For me, it's like a 90%.
90%?
Yes, it's like it's some words, then I don't understand nothing. I don't know.
All right, we'll get to those words you don't understand soon. Yeah. Anyone else?
For me, it's like the 10, because there are some words that I kind of can get what they are, but not entirely. I haven't read in a paragraph.
Okay, so when you said 10, 10 you don't know, or 10 you do know?
That I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's maybe a little less than 90%. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else?
For me, it's the same that I will like 10 words that I don't understand.
All right. So we'll get to those. Yeah. So let's see. Was anyone at 100%? I just wanted to check if if all these words are no 100% for anyone. That's okay. Even for me, there's some words for me. I mean, when I read them, yes, I can understand. I understand 100%. So for reading, of course, I speak English. But if you ask me to explain, some of them I can't explain very well, because I can explain them a little bit, but I think you are more climate change and sustainability experts than me. So if I explain it to you, you will be unsatisfied. But if I explain it to a person who's not an expert, they will be satisfied. So let's pick maybe one or two words that you don't understand or you're not sure. So can anyone give me a word? If you don't want to, oh, go ahead.
I have blizzard.
Okay, which
Blizzard.
word is that?
Yes.
Which
Blizzard.
which number? Oh, blizzard. Okay, number at the bottom, number 17.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Z
Yeah,
the Z sound is a sound that is hard for us. The Z. We don't have that. That's why.
Yeah, no, yeah, blizzard. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, blizzard, I don't think well, you may get some in I'm not sure. I don't know about Chile's climate, but maybe the extreme south. But yeah, blizzard is a very bad snowstorm. So basically, Kansas City usually gets one a year, not too many. This year, I don't think we got a blizzard, or if we did, yeah, we did, but it was a mild blizzard. So yeah, that's just a very bad snowstorm. Usually if it snows so much you can't see well, if you're driving your car in a blizzard, you should stop because you can't see. There's a lot of car crashes. Number one, because of low visibility, and number two, because the roads are slippery. But blizzard, also the snow can increase very quickly. So maybe you can get 30 centimeters of snow in 2 hours. So that's a lot. So in the United States, because of the changes in the jet stream, some places like Wisconsin and Iowa, they will get more blizzards later. So like February and March are now the blizzard times, or before 20 years ago, it would be in January, but now blizzards happen more often in March, so it's strange. So that's one example. So don't worry, you should not experience a blizzard when you come here. Yeah. All right. How about one more word? We'll choose one more word.
For me, it's aftermath.
Okay. Which number is that?
11.
Okay, this one, the third
Mhm.
column, aftermath.
Yes.
Yeah. So aftermath is the situation of something afterwards. So the aftermath. So we can use blizzard again. So we can, if you read a newspaper, they say let's see, I'm just trying to think. Yeah. The experts are discussing the aftermath of the blizzard. So what are we going to do to rescue people? Or another example of, yeah, it's just the effects of the blizzard and discussing the results or effects. So the aftermath. So maybe the blizzard was short. Maybe the blizzard was 2 hours long, but then the aftermath, rescuing people and finding people, took 3 days. So then they can say the aftermath was, more time consuming, had more time than the actual blizzard. So yeah.
But,
So yeah, go ahead.
sorry, but it's similar like a consequence, no?
It's
Or
kind of
is that different?
it's kind of a consequence. I'm trying to think the different consequence usually can be applied to people too. Consequence is more widely used. So when I think of consequence, I also think, of a punishment, where aftermath, it's not really a punishment. It's more of things you have to do because of something in the past. Yeah. So when we talk about natural disasters, all natural disasters have an aftermath. And even like the pandemic, we are still in the COVID-19 we're experiencing the aftermath of COVID-19. So yes, Abel?
I think that consequences is the name that we have for aftermath in Spanish, because we
Okay.
apply it to persons and to situations. So yeah.
Yeah, so I understand how that can make it confusing because you have a word that does both, and we have, we can choose. Yeah. But I say the consequence of a consequence of a blizzard is, people will go missing. And then in the aftermath, aftermath is the action of finding people. Yeah, we have to do this. Yeah, there's like action involved. What do? We have to do something in the aftermath. The consequence is this happens. A caused B. And then what do we do in B is the aftermath. Yeah, it has nothing to do with math. All right. If there are any math people here, mathematics. Yeah, when I learned this word, I was in elementary school and I remember like, what? That's a strange word. Math. There's no math. Yeah. All right. So we'll move on to listening. So this one's kind of hard because you're reading these, but if I were speaking to you and I said one of these words, would you know what I said? Which is harder to discuss. But in general, if I'm talking and if I say, I'm just trying to find out, a word here. Yes, so if I said sustainable transportation or ecological restoration, you can understand what I'm saying. Or I think it's harder because these are long words. When I say long words, it's easier. If I say a short word between two long words, then you missed that small word. And there are not many small words. I know aftermath is just a little short, or zero waste. If I say it too quickly, zero waste. Maybe you didn't know what I said, but all right. And then I'm very interested. We talked about cognates in our last meeting. So I'm also interested, how many of these words are very similar in Spanish? Like, is ecotourism similar?
I consider, for example, the conservation, mitigation, and carbon neutral, etc. These words are very similar in Spanish.
Okay.
For example, conservation is conservación,
Yes.
or mitigation is mitigación.
So a lot of
Infrastructure.
Yeah. So what you're saying is a lot of the ones that end with tion, the shun or sion, many of them are similar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the word carbon is the same. Carbon. So yeah. So could you guess? So if you saw carbon offset here and carbon capture, would that be easy to understand, even though one word is the same and one word is not the same?
I have a question because I don't know what offset means in that word.
Oh yeah, carbon offset. So that's so in this, it's used a lot in for economics and some politicians. So carbon offset. So for example, if I'm the airline industry, I produce a lot of carbon in the atmosphere. So then I will make a carbon offset proposal. What will my company do to offset? I can't do anything to reduce my carbon emissions for my business. So I will do something else. I will plant many trees to offset all all the carbon I release in the atmosphere. So it's like a strategy, you know. So for example, you know, Delta Airlines makes, you know, I don't know, you probably see this if you're on an airplane and you watch their, you know, welcome to Delta Airlines, and they show a video, and then they show like a forest, and like every day we plant hundreds of trees to offset the carbon or offset our flights. So that's carbon offset. Yeah. So some businesses do this voluntarily. Some businesses are required by the law, but it's, in my opinion, in the US, it's not regulated well enough. So it's hard to believe. Is it really happening? I don't know. So do you have carbon offset
Yeah, I have heard
practices?
of it, but I don't know too much about I don't know, like the laws or anything like that, the regulations. I know that it is how you say this? Yeah, they use like an strategy as well as in the US, and some industries have to do it for law, but I don't know too much about it.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I think it's not a clear idea of who's doing it voluntarily and who's doing it by law. And I know usually every 1 or 2 years, our media will uncover, oh, you know, this company said they were doing carbon offset, but in reality, they never did, or they only did 1%. So this is why we need good journalism. Yeah.
It's like greenwashing.
Oh, greenwashing.
Yes,
Yeah, actually,
eh,
carbon offset
some-
can be an example of greenwashing. So greenwashing is when a company tells you, oh, we're doing all of this positive things for the environment, you know, so that's greenwashing. Their brand, they're eco-friendly brands. They advertise and promote, and maybe some of it's true, maybe some of it's not true, but that's greenwashing. And so there are some companies in the United States that I like because their brand is green. They use the color green. They show a picture of a tree in their logo. It's like, oh, they're a good brand, but maybe they're greenwashing. So yes, Vicente.
In first place, sorry for being late.
Oh, no problem.
In my case, I don't know the meaning of environmental stewardship.
Okay.
Stewardship. I
Stewardship.
don't know how.
Yeah.
Stewardship.
Yeah.
I don't know what is.
Yes. Environmental stewardship. So being a good steward. So we say, you know, if you're a good steward, you are an ally, or you do things to help the environment. So you'll hear, we should practice good environmental stewardship. We should all do our best to protect the environment. So yeah, I think if your stewardship is used a lot in the media, but if you're like, another metaphor could be like an environmental warrior, you know, oh, I'm going to protect environmental warrior is like, I'm going to really protect the environment above everything, and that's the most important to me. But environmental stewardship kind of makes it less combative, it's more friendly, you know. I protect the environment. So it's a neutral. It doesn't sound like you're aggressively pro-environment, and it doesn't sound like you don't care either. So yeah, steward is the person, and then stewardship is the practice of being an environmental steward. So I assume that everyone on this Zoom call are environmental stewards, and we all practice environmental stewardship. Yeah, I try my best. All right. Let's see. Any other words that are similar to, to Spanish? I know the TION words, carbon.
Maybe evacuate and eruption.
Okay.
Evacuate would be evacuación o evacuar,
Oh, okay.
and eruption, erupción.
Oh, okay.
Avalanche, avalancha también. Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
okay. Wow.
Also,
Yeah, I didn't know that. So that's great. So a lot of these words. Okay. And then pronunciation. So now this is the speaking part. So I can guess which words may be difficult. So for me, I look at this word here, number 14 in column 2. This is difficult for some English speakers to say. So I don't know if anyone wants to attempt saying this word. The first word's easy, ocean, but
it would
Yeah.
be something like ocean acidification.
oh yeah, that's good pronunciation. Yeah, ocean acidification. Yes. Yeah. And then number 14 on the first column, climate is easy, but the second word, does anyone know how to pronounce that word?
Not bracelets.
Close. It's resilience. So it has that Z sound that Jose mentioned in blizzard. That blizzard and resilience. So resilience. Yeah.
Climate resilience.
Yeah.
Uh,
Climate resilience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's see, any other words that would be difficult to. Mm. Yeah. Number 17 in the first column.
Environmental degradation.
Oh yeah, good pronunciation. Yeah, degradation. That's a difficult word. Yeah, and I know infrastructure's on here a lot. There's a lot of infrastructure, so it's a key word these days. So, but it's hard to pronounce that word. All right. I think the rest is pretty good.
Sorry,
And then
the number
oh, go
two.
ahead. Go ahead.
The number 2. How is the pronunciation?
In the middle.
When,
Oh,
the first column,
oh, okay. Renewable.
renewable.
Yeah. So the base word, the root word is new, and you put the accent on it. So renewable. Renewable. Yeah. All right. Any others before we go down to explaining it? Probably the most difficult of.
I just want to add that it is very funny this how you say it? Like this activity, because I'm with like 4 other people and we're trying to guess the pronunciation. So we're happy to get it right
Okay.
sometimes, and we discuss if it's bad.
Yes. Yeah, actually another one that I think some of you may get it easily, and others like number 6 here. 6 on the third column.
That would be microplastics or microplastics.
Yeah, micro. Yeah,
Micro.
microplastics.
Sorry. Pronunciation number 8. 8.
8?
8.
Oh,
Yeah.
this one? Yeah.
No. There's row or file.
Oh, which one? Number 8 and
Environmental is the word.
Oh yeah, yes, we talked about this.
Okay.
Yeah, the environmental stewardship. Steward. Yeah.
Stewardship.
Yeah, steward.
Stewardship.
Yeah, steward almost sounds like I don't know if there's a
Yeah.
common name in English. There are people named Stuart. And it sounds like
Like
Stewart,
Stuart
but
Little, the
yes.
mouse.
Yeah. The only difference is it ends in a D. So steward, stewardship. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, in the old days, we have flight attendants now, but we used to call them, back when it was only a women's job, when it was they call it they were stewardesses, but that is not politically correct anymore because there are men, and the men don't want to be called stewards, so we call them flight attendants. So, but since I grew up, I was born a long time ago. Stewardesses were used a lot, but now we call them flight attendants. But so the term steward, in my mind, I think of stewardesses first, women in the airplane serving you food. But yeah, so it's not used so often anymore. This term steward and stewardess. Yeah. All right. So now it's like explaining these in English. So now that if you know many of these words, could you explain them in English? So I'll pick some easy words, but maybe difficult. So who can explain to me number 15, ozone layer? What's the ozone layer?
I would say ozone layer would be like the this part of the earth that covers the UV rays, UV rays,
Okay.
Ya voy a decir
and we have to protect
Yes.
the ozone layer. Don't using like the deodorants, like the sprays,
Oh, yes.
and all the carbon dioxide emissions.
Mm. And there's one keyword I'm looking for, and so you explained it well, but you missed one keyword. So where can I find, where is the ozone layer?
Um,
Do you know that word? Can anyone help Vicente?
help me, please.
Do you know what we call, where is the ozone layer located?
In the atmosphere.
Yeah, atmosphere. Yeah. So yeah, everything else, if you use atmosphere, you'd have a perfect explanation. Yeah.
I can explain the concept of deforestation.
Okay. So yeah, please.
Deforestation is a process, and the forests are reduced
Yes.
because not because for activities, human activities, principally for extracting wood.
Mhm.
Wood.
Wood.
That's okay.
Yeah, extracting wood.
Wood.
Yes.
I'm sorry. And other activities in general.
Yes. Yeah, that's a very good explanation for deforestation. Yes. All right. Let's see. Oh, no, I won't do that one. Carbon neutral. What does carbon neutral mean?
I don't know too much about it, but I know that it's a practice that some companies do it because it has to be with it had something to do with what were we saying before? Like
Greenwashing?
yeah, greenwashing and carbon offset. It's like you want to compensate your amount of carbon footprint with doing another thing, like planting forests and do all this activity to have like and do like like how you say this?
Zero carbon
See, like you have
footprint, like emission.
Creo que
No,
Yeah, this- yeah.
neutralidad de carbono, ¿no? Algo así como. It's, I think it's something like free emissions of the carbon dioxide, something like that, maybe. Carbon neutral.
Yeah, carbon neutral is, yeah, it's close. Yeah, it's related to carbon offset. So if you're trying to do carbon offsets, your goal is to become carbon neutral.
Oh.
So like I mentioned the airlines. The airlines, if they're planting many trees, if they say, "Oh, we are carbon neutral," that means they have succeeded in having, I don't know, 1 million trees equal, I don't know how many flights, two or three flights. I don't know how many, but they have but the carbon neutral, you need evidence. So this is what I like about carbon neutral. You need evidence to prove you're carbon neutral. So you have to show the people or your shareholders, here's how much carbon we put in the atmosphere and this is how much carbon here's another word. I think the word is, I'm not too sure, sequestered. I'm not confident with that word, but have you heard that word? Sequestered. You don't release it, you sequester it. I should have put that word on this list.
I heard that word for carbon sequestration in the soil.
Oh yes, maybe it could just be soil. Yeah, but absorbing carbon. Absorb is another one. Like I know that sequestration is humans doing it. We're trying to take in the carbon, and then absorbing is naturally, like the oceans. The oceans are natural carbon absorbers, I guess. But I know that the oceans can't absorb too much more, as you know, and you're the experts, not me. Yeah. But yeah, carbon neutral, back to carbon neutral, you need evidence. So if you say you are carbon neutral, you have to show us, prove that you are carbon neutral. And carbon offset is the action to becoming carbon neutral. Yeah. So for example, my house is not carbon neutral. I would like to have solar panels on my roof, but not yet. I haven't invested my money to have my house as carbon neutral. Okay. Let's see, other words. We can pick a word that, how about avalanche? What is an avalanche?
Avalanche. Yes. Avalanche?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. How would you
Sorry.
explain avalanche? Would anyone like to try?
Do I go?
Yeah, anyone.
The size of the people. Oh, the size for the people. Avalanche.
Oh, that doesn't sound right.
Well,
Avalanche.
it's like the movement of snow. Like it's very common in mountain places where you have a lot of concentration, a high amount of snow that is very unstable. So something may happen, and the avalanche is the action of that snow falling
Yes.
the mountain.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's just the snow, like you said, the snow coming down from the mountain, a large amount of snow. So it's very, very dangerous in the Rocky Mountains here. Probably in Chile too. Well, if you have snow in the southern part. Yeah. If there is no snow, you can have landslides. So that's why those two words are next to each other. So a landslide is just the mountain rocks and dirt. It doesn't have to be a mountain, but it can be anywhere. Yeah, so in California, there's been a lot, like maybe the same in Chile. There's been a lot of rain, so there's a lot of landslides. But if there's a lot of snow, then there's a avalanche. Yeah. So if you like skiing, you want to avoid the avalanche. All right. All right. So these are these words. I don't know if you want to do any more. I'll give you maybe a minute just to, if you want to talk about anything else on this list before we move on to the next part.
Like climate diplomacy.
Okay.
I think I think it's like the agreement of the or negotiation in between countries
Yes.
about the environmental policies, something like that.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It can be international diplomacy and it can also be local diplomacy. Just talking about that. And I'm very interested because in my perspective, the United States the United States as a country doesn't take climate diplomacy seriously. And there are people that do, but as a whole, I don't think, my opinion, it's just my opinion, that the United States hasn't shown seriousness in climate diplomacy. So I'm wondering if that's the same. I'm hoping that Chile takes it more seriously. It seems to me that most of the world takes it seriously, but the United States does not. So that's so when I see the word climate diplomacy, I feel sad. That's my feeling, because I live in a country that doesn't take it seriously. I take it seriously, but yeah. So that's a political question, Of course, climate diplomacy is related to politics. So yeah.
Yeah. A question.
right.
You say that you say they don't take it seriously, but it's because the United States doesn't do the agreements that they promised to do, or
Yeah.
is another factor?
It's a lot of the practices, and like we agree to one, like the Paris Accords or the Kyoto protocols, and then 10 years later, either we ignored it, we made a promise, but we ignored it immediately, or we decide to withdraw. So it's frustrating, but it's because America doesn't, like, our country doesn't have a agreement across our two parties. So our internal problems are causing an international problem. So that's what I'm frustrated. I wish they would come to an agreement. So, but it's taking too long. For me, the climate diplomacy started in the US in the 1990s, we wanted to become a leader, and it never happened, I think. So I mean, we're a leader because we're powerful, but we're not a leader because we're making a positive impact yet. So But now you're getting my political influence in that. Yeah. I don't want to influence you too much on that, but that's how I feel. Yeah.
If it make you happy, we when we are studying things and especially in science, we see a lot of research in the US.
Oh, yes.
So we take it like, oh, they do this and it's a good job. We can implement it here. So maybe not in the political space. US is doing well, but in the science space is
Oh,
yeah.
yes. No, we're great. If you come to any science conference in the US, 100%. Our science is very strong. We have like everyone is united in academics. So it's just a division of news. What's in the news and then what's in the schools and what's in the research. Yeah. No, I know we can. I think the United States, if we had the political will, we would easily help the world solve the problem in less than 10 years. But yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hopeful, but also disappointed at the same time. All right. So we got like half an hour left, and we have two more sections here. So one is preparing for interactions with UMKC students. I don't know if you saw this video before. I can't remember how long it is. Let me just, oh, it's very short. Yeah. So I can give you 2 minutes to watch the video on your own. And then we can take a poll. And I'm very interested to know what your opinion is of the video too. I think this video was made last year. So I'll pause for 2 minutes and then you watch the video and then we'll talk about getting ready to talk to UMKC students. All right, so 2 minutes. All right. I'm hoping you all watched the video. Yes. Yeah. I don't know, does that help you? Or yeah. And it makes UMKC look very exciting. So sometimes it is. So especially when the weather is nice. So yeah. All right, so I have a poll for you to take. I'm going to share my screen. Oops. Let's see. Share my screen here. And hopefully this technology works. So I don't know if you've done menti.com before, but I have experience with this. So you go to menti.com and enter this code. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Abel. Let's see if I can see people. All right, we have 6 people, 7, 9. I think we're almost everyone. I know 2 people can't make it, so does 9 sound right?
Actually, Jeremy, they actually made it, or they made it. So we should have 10
All
people.
right.
10.
Okay.
Hello,
Yeah.
Jeremy. Sorry for the inconvenience. I joined kind of late to the meeting. I'm a UMKC student. I was in calculus class and I'm just finishing. I just joined in.
Oh,
kind of
okay.
late, but yeah.
Oh, well,
Sorry about that.
oh, it's okay. Yeah, this is perfect timing because we're talking about you visiting UMKC right now.
Yeah.
So you can yeah, you can join in. Yeah. All right. So they'll have questions. We'll do this poll and then we can talk through. Maybe we can talk through when we get the results of this
Thank you.
poll. Yes. All right. All right. So it looks like we got everyone answering for the first one here. So have you visited a US campus before? Oh, we have 1 yes. So who said yes, if you'd like to share?
Jeremy, that was me. Well, I
Oh,
actually,
okay.
sorry. I
Yeah.
wasn't sorry.
Yeah. Did you visit here or another campus?
No, I did my bachelor's degree in the US in Kentucky.
Oh, in Kentucky. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another K location. We're in Kansas City. Yeah, not Kentucky. Some people confuse confuse Kansas with Kentucky, but yeah. Great. All right, the next one. Yeah. I expect UMKC students to be similar to Tumaco students. It's your interpretation what you mean similar. Okay. Interesting. So the majority say yes with a couple no. So I'm interested to learn, how do you think they are similar besides being human? Can anyone give me an example of what do you expect to be similar? And we have 1 UMKC student with us, so we can can get it verified.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one wants to. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I think the culture in Chile and US are very similar.
Okay,
And in the young people, mm, specifically.
yes. So yeah, the younger generation have more in common.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
like
that had to be more with like globalization because we share some friends with the people in the US because
okay.
of social media.
Yes. Yeah, social media, I mean, it's good and bad, but the good part is that you get to understand each other more. Yeah. My part of my job is I have to travel to other countries, and I always like to, when I find people who have children my daughter's age, I will do a test because my daughter likes strange things and that I think most people don't know, but then they do know. So I'm like, oh wow. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot. I'm very happy that there are people who are in other countries that have similar things with similar tastes as my daughter. All right. We'll move on to the next question. Yeah. So have you ever video chatted with US university students online before? Not including today. So we have Mauricio here, but before today. Oh, many of you are not sure. Okay. So I'm assuming you video chatted, but you didn't know who was present. Is that the case? If there was a large online meeting, is that the case? Am I correct?
No, I think most of us haven't met anyone in video chat from the US. Maybe we have only chat with uh, another people from the US, but not video chat.
Oh,
I
okay.
agree with Abel. Yep. In my personal case, I didn't have a call before, so it's my first time
All right.
with the US students.
All right. And now that we have Mauricio here, have you chatted with international students online before?
Yes, the last semester I had the opportunity to do that with a couple of friends, and yeah, it was pretty interesting experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Which country do you remember where they were from?
they was from France.
France. Okay.
France, yes, from Lille. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
All right. Move on to the next question. Oh, now you have to write your own response. So this is not a poll. What worries you most about interacting with UMKC students? Yeah. It could be worries that you have about yourself or worries about UMKC people. Could be either kind of worry.
The language.
The
Well,
language.
yeah.
Okay.
Or
Yes.
interacting.
Yeah. They don't understand what I say. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes. A lot has to do with language or not having much in common. Yeah. We do have a nice size of, we have a lot of Spanish speakers on campus. So that's one good thing. Miscommunication. Yeah, even among UMKC students, there's miscommunication. So doesn't even matter if you're from another country. Yes. All right. Yeah. Well, luckily for having things in common, we are going to help you. We have groups here that will help you find things in common. So yeah, communication seems to be the biggest worry. All right. And we have Mauricio here, so we can have you two interact soon. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Mauricio, you're on mute.
My bad, sorry. Actually, for me, in my personal experience, English is not my first language. So when I enrolled to UMKC last semester, I used to have a lot of those problems too, especially with the slang with my friends. When they was talking very fast, I was just stop them and, hey, could you explain me a little bit more about what you're trying to tell me? Because many times I'm still struggling with that, but I think it's part of the learning curve. But yeah, I feel pretty good, and in this university is I'm very involved,
Mm.
and it's pretty nice. I like it.
All right. And I'll give this group more time to talk with you once we finish this poll. So
Okay.
that's great. All right. So how much do you expect the typical UMKC student to know about Chile? Okay. Yeah, these are good guesses. No one says a lot. That's probably true. You may find one or two that know a lot, but that's rare. Yeah. Yeah. And it's up to you if you want to be the ambassador of your own country, if you want to tell them all if they're interested. Hopefully they're interested. Everyone I know, they're interested. So yeah, but you're probably right with your guesses here. Either a little or not much that is accurate. Yeah. I'm curious of what you think that they know but is wrong. Do you know anything that Americans or UMKs or just Americans know that's wrong about Chile? Or you don't want to say
I
it?
think they think that we are part of Mexico, or like
Yes.
are
Yeah.
really close.
Yes. Yeah, that's the weird thing about many Americans. Like if you are south of the US border, it's all Mexico. And that's just weird. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think UMKC students are smarter than the average American, so it should happen less here. Yeah, I don't know if Mauricio has anything to say about that.
Yeah, I'm from Mexico, and I heard that a lot. So
Yeah.
yeah, many times.
Yeah. All right. All right. Communicating with UMKC students online will help me communicate with them in person. So we have an example here. Okay. So mostly agree and one not sure. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. I don't think if anyone has anything to say about this, but yeah, this is very positive. I know you're going to speak to Mauricio today, and then of course Stephen's students in the next 2 weeks. So yeah, it should help you, and yeah, you can get some of your questions out. So yeah, in one word, how would you describe classroom dynamics in a typical US university? I'm just curious of what you think. If you were in a US classroom, what it's like in one word. I won't be offended if you say something, you know, a bad stereotype or something. Okay, different. That's a very careful answer. Yeah, on time is a good, yeah. Punctuality, there's a nice vocabulary word. Especially traditional American professors, you know, punctuality is very important. I know it's changing, but I don't know. I don't know how Mauricio can maybe let us know if punctuality, the importance of punctuality and being on time.
Yeah, it's very important for many of my professors. Punctuality is important, but in some cases is different. But most of the times is, and always I think it should be very important, punctuality.
Yes. All right.
Where I think that we differ, like we are not similar because well, it depends of the career, but at least in my career, well, we are little classes. We have few students, so and we get to know very well the teacher. Is disrespectful if you enter very late, but if you get to class like, I don't know, 10 or 20 minutes later, it's not that much of a trouble.
Yeah.
It depends
Yeah,
of
it
the
does.
professor.
So yeah, I don't know. Some professors wouldn't like it if you're 20 minutes late. Some, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the ones that wouldn't mind. Yeah, if we know you in in advance, maybe it's okay, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and participation, yeah, that's many, yeah, that's a good stereotype. I don't know, Mauricio, if you agree with the level of participation here.
Yeah, I think it's very important, especially when it's a small class. I think it's more important. But I think when it's like a very big class, sometimes the professor he can notice when someone arrives late to class too, or sometimes some of the professors are more flexible with that. But yeah, I can notice more that in small classes.
Yeah. And then, yeah, the good thing about UMKC is, I mean, we have some large classes, but our classes sizes are smaller than the typical US university. So you get to know the professor. I know if you are at, we have a university nearby, the University of Kansas, and they have much larger classes, and students there don't get to know their teachers as well, the professors as well as they do here at UMKC. So that's one advantage. It's yeah, and modern, it depends on your major. Some schools have more modern classrooms than others. So you'll find that out on our tour. Oh, now I want to see, rank the Kansas City topics in the order of your interest. So I think you should be able to change these of, you know.
I love it, barbecue.
Yes, well, if you love barbecue, this is going to be one of the best cities you'll experience. Yeah. Well, I'm very interested to see that. Well, you're in the climate, so the weather, of course. The stereotype for the Midwest Americans is that we love to talk about the weather. So even people you don't know, you'll talk about the weather. All right. Local concerts. Yeah, there's plenty of local concerts here. Yeah. I don't have enough free time to go myself. Unfortunately, Taylor Swift is not one of those local concerts. But maybe you don't care. She's 8th. All right. It looks like most people have answered. So yeah. Well, great. So yeah, local concerts. I don't know. You're only here for a short time, so hopefully you get a chance to see at least one concert. There's many genres. So I think maybe Mauricio, I don't know if you go to local concerts.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. It seems like rock music and folk and jazz. Yeah, is jazz on this? This is a jazz city, so you can see jazz in Kansas City more than most other cities. If you like jazz. Yeah. Barbecue, yeah, plenty. Everyone you meet, since you are visiting Kansas City, they're going to ask you about barbecue or take you to eat barbecue. So I'm sorry if you're a vegetarian. There are some barbecue restaurants that have vegetarian options. So I recommend Q39. So if you have someone that is forcing you to eat barbecue and you don't like barbecue, go to Q39 because they have other options. That's my my recommendations. All right.
I have a question. Barbecue
Yes.
is kind of expensive or it's affordable?
It depends on the
Okay.
restaurant.
Ah, okay, depends.
So, yeah. So I think the most expensive barbecue restaurant, it's not in Kansas City, it was in Overland Park, Kansas. And one dish cost about $35. That's expensive. But it can range, I think, 10, a full meal, it can be like $10 to $20. If you just want one barbecue dish, just one like meat only and nothing else, it can be less than $10, maybe even cheaper. There are some cheap barbecue places here, but yeah. I don't know, Mauricio, are you a Kansas City barbecue expert yet?
A little bit, yes. And I think one of it's very good, but it is kind of pricey, is Jack Stack, that is next to Union Station and also in Plaza. But also one of my favorites is Joe's Barbecue, that is in Roland Park. That one is more affordable. I think the last time that I went there, I spent around $13 for a barbecue sandwich and a soda. It was good, pretty good. Yeah,
Yes.
it's good.
Yeah, and there's a Joe's in Kansas City, Kansas. That's like a tourist attraction. It's like the first Joe's, and somebody at UMKC may take you there because it's a gas station and a barbecue restaurant. So, yeah.
Junk food, very cheaper. Junk food.
Oh, what was what were we talking about?
Junk food is very cheaper.
Oh, I don't understand. Can you?
She's saying that junk food like hamburgers,
junk food?
Okay,
pizza,
yeah.
it's cheap.
Junk food.
It's affordable.
Yeah, junk food.
Sorry for pronunciation.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, junk food. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a kind of American stereotype too. I mean, you can find a lot of junk food easily here. Yeah, yeah. Are you interested in American junk food or no? Yeah. Oh, okay. You'll have plenty of opportunities to eat that food. Yeah, on campus and off campus. So, yeah. Yeah.
What is
All right.
Kansas City nice?
Oh, a lot of Kansas Cityans, when they meet people not from Kansas, like especially from other countries, they'll say, "Oh, you'll notice that or there's like, we're proud of Kansas City nice, that people here are nice. Yeah, polite. Yeah, not rude. Like New York has a stereotype of being rude and loud, and we're like the opposite. We're more quiet, more reserved, polite. So it's yeah, being that's kind of the Kansas City nice. I'm from another part of the Midwest, and there's a Minnesota nice and there's an Iowa nice. So this is, for me, this is the third nice I've learned. So, but Kansas Cityans, I don't know if Mauricio can give more information, but Kansas Cityans are proud of their niceness.
That's true. I can confirm that is people here are more nicer than other places. In my experience, yes, it's a lot of kind people.
Yeah, and some people, if you're lost or something, they'll go out of their way to help you, to make sure you get what you need or find what you need. Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, Vicente.
I have a question related to the video that we saw before. Ru, it's the way that the UMKC call his students?
Yeah, well, that's because it's our mascot, or it's Ru, short for kangaroos.
Oh.
Yeah, our team name is the Kangaroos. So
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of our brand. So we are Roos. I'm a teacher and staff, so I consider myself a Roo, and my students are Roos. So
Okay.
and soon you will be Roos. So
in our university, we are the UCT, UCT, so we are UCETinos.
Oh,
I think it's
okay.
It's
UCETinos.
kind of
Yes.
similar.
Yes, they're very much like that. Yeah.
I'm really hoping to see a game the game like they have the rules. I think that
Okay,
would
and
be really interesting to know how they play. They are, because in my university we have a lot of deports, so we don't have like a one in specialty.
yes, I know there are sports that will be playing, but I'm not sure which games. I don't know if Mauricio, do you follow any Roo sports?
Not all. I just been a couple times to the soccer games, but not too many times.
Yeah, but there should be. And you're coming here at the end of the semester, but there are still games right at the end. I just don't know which ones. I'd have to look them up.
Yeah, sometimes there's a lot of basketball games, soccer, from the male team and also the female team. Both are very good.
All right. Oh, I think you've already kind of answered that. How do you feel about the pressure to speak English a lot? Just worried about your stress levels. Yeah. I'm an English teacher, so I'm very aware of the stress to speak English. All right. Okay. So one is very stressed, one's a little stressed and not worried now, but that may change. Yeah, because of Kansas City nice, you shouldn't be too worried. Yeah. All right. Well, I know that you'll have your chance to speak more with American students. You got Mauricio here, but you'll have a whole class of American students next week. Okay. Oh, and your preferences for interactions in English. So, yeah. Oh. An even variety. Okay. So, yeah, and I think in Steven's class, you'll be doing small groups. I'm hoping he'll give you many opportunities to talk to Americans in small groups on Zoom. But when you're here in person in Kansas City, you'll have all these opportunities, small groups and individually and informal social gatherings. All right. Oh, that was my last question. Okay, and I'm looking at the time. We're already past time. So yeah, I'll let you watch this video yourself, but this video will help you, get excited about going to Kansas City. Here's an example of a jazz singer. And then for the next 2 weeks, so Stephen Holland Wempe will be your teacher. You're going to join with his class. There's also other international students in the class. So there'll be American students and other international students. And he has handouts, and he has a different Zoom meeting you should go to, but they're both in the handout. So there's a week 5 handout. Hopefully you can open it. He wrote it bilingually, so it's in Spanish and English. Yeah. All right. So I know since we're short on time, are there any last questions you have for me or Mauricio about traveling to Kansas City?
Hey, Jeremy, I wanted to add something here, just for next class. We have a time change this Saturday.
Okay.
We're going back 1 hour. So just to everybody be aware of that. So for us, next class, instead of being 12:30 for us, it will be 11:30.
Okay.
¿Todos entendieron eso? Que la próxima clase va a ser a las 11:30 por el cambio de la hora. Okay.
All right. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you got that. All right. All right. Any questions? I know you're probably ready to go to your next meeting. So, all right. Well, thank you, Mauricio, for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yes. I'll be here a couple times maybe.
All right.
Nice to meet you, Mauricio. Nos
Nice to
vemos.
meet you. Mucho gusto conocerlos.
All right. Right. See you later.
Bye.
See you in person next time. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Jeremy. Good luck in your trip.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.